Welcome back to An Engineer's Life, Episode 17, Living the Creative Life. Since you can live a satisfying life without necessarily being creative, why bother? It will just add risk and work to the already large pile of risk and work you have in front of you. It will seldom pay back in tangible monetary rewards. Finally, it will likely upset some of those around you whom you care about. I cannot answer this question for you because everyone has different motivations. I will just say that living the creative life will almost certainly be more interesting and exciting than just putting your head down and doing what you're told to do. So, if you think it might be worth the extra risk and extra work, then by all means join me on this journey. Even if not, you may still learn something about the creative process that might be useful to know. One of the 10 books that I've written was Creative Thinking and Converting. It was a total failure. Tappy Press, who up till that time published everything I've ever given them, refused this one. You can make your own judgment on its worth if you like. Email me and I will send you a copy for free. So, before we go any further, I must remind you that creativity and risk and failure go hand in hand. If you haven't failed many times, you have neither tried very hard nor have you been very creative. Artists are often creative. I regularly practice the photographic arts. You can find examples on my personal website, davidroysam.com, as well as my photo business website, povphotosplus.com. However, many authors are also creative. So are many composers. So are many inventors. So are many engineers. So are many business owners. So are many others. The point here is that creativity is not limited to the arts. Creativity is doing something different, or something in a different way, in any human endeavor. There are many misunderstandings about creativity. Perhaps the most common is that creative people are colorful, and that turning the color saturation knob all the way up will do it. Yes, I am occasionally flamboyant, even dressing in costume to give technical conference papers. However, this has more to do with marketing than any inherent genetic tendency to flamboyance. In fact, I am painfully shy in person. While many people who are creative might be colorful, others are not. They create wonderfully, but act and dress and speak like most everyone else. Instead, what creativity always has is an intense and burning curiosity. It asks not just how to turn the color knob up, but what all the other knobs do, like contrast and volume. There are 100 other knobs on this video program I'm using that could be explored, and 1,000 on the Photoshop app that I use. Sometimes you need to try a new set of knobs. In this photo example, I explored infrared photography to see the world in a different light, literally. Creativity is not about being especially courageous. It is not about being fearless. Rather, It is about fearing less. As you become more comfortable with risk and failure, you expand the space for curiosity to grow. This can be a process, like learning to overcome the fear of flying, or the fear of water, or vertigo, or PTSD. Don't try and do it all at once. Baby steps are better. Learn from and meet others who are in a similar place on a similar path. As we have seen, being afraid of risk or failure will limit creativity. However, there is a much bigger creativity killer. That is time. It takes time to prepare for the activity, and then to settle, and then to clear your mind. Once you're into this state of flow where time disappears, you don't want to get interrupted and have to resettle and clear your mind again. In fact, it might not be possible, no matter how hard you try. So, don't just clear your mind, clear your desk, turn off the phone, and don't answer that doorbell. However, it is not just too little time that can kill creativity. It also might be too much time. Too much time can sometimes be threatening. Like a blank sheet of paper can be a block for writers and artists alike. Even if not threatening, there is the practical matter that few people can stay in a state of flow for more than a couple of hours. Finally, it has to be the right time of the day and the right day of the week. If you are a morning person, trying to create in the evening may not work, and vice versa. The ebb and flow of productivity is called biorhythms. It is not that off-peak hours are worthless. It is worthless only for creative works. Use the other off-peak times for doing busy work, such as phone calls and emails and meetings. Each of us has different personalities, talents, and predispositions. Whether this is nature or nurture is unimportant for this discussion, except in that we can all improve our creativity by goal-oriented practice. Still, some of us seem to be farther along than others on this journey. I would just say that some are more predisposed to be creative than others. It is a grayscale, where at the extreme end you have obsession. However, I don't think any one of us wants to live the life of a Van Gogh who cut off his ear. Just short of obsession is the peak of creativity. If you ask many authors why they write, they would say they write because they have to. If you ask many composers why they compose, they would say they compose because they have to. If you ask many painters why they paint, they would say they paint because they have to. By have to, I do not mean they have to in order to make a living, because the starving artist has a basis in reality for many. They have to because they are predisposed to their art. It is what gets them up in the morning with fresh desire to do their thing. Thank you so very much for walking with me on this creative journey. Stay tuned for the next clip in this Life of an Engineer series, where we will discuss how to optimize your productivity. Like and share if you found something useful. See you next time.